This is Luke Marlowe reporting from the Department of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Waterloo, one of our top higher education institutions in Canada. I'm joining Professor Kenneth Morris, who appeared several times on Canadian and international media bringing awareness to the Y2K bug. Professor Morris, thank you for receiving me in your office. What exactly do you do here at U of W?
I teach quantum mechanics, fractal mathematics, and information theory. And I try to ignore winter by bunkering in my office.
Well, you've bunkered pretty well. We haven't heard from you for a few months. Back in the spring and summer, you talked on many media outlets about the Y2K bug.
I did what I could.
Now, for anyone out there living under a rock, could you remind us what exactly is the Y2K bug and how could it potentially affect us?
The root of the problem is that early computer systems lacked sufficient memory. So anything that could be simplified was simplified, starting with the dating system with 2 digits instead of 4 to signify years. Thus, the year 1999 is just 99. Now, the upcoming year will revert to 00. Computers will interpret it as 1900, and every single date calculation will simply not compute, affecting the core functioning of everything in our society. Government services, banks, communications, even our personal home computers.
Well, governments and software companies have spent considerable resources to avert this catastrophic scenario, and they claim it's fixed. Can't we relax and enjoy the new millennium celebrations?
I've invited you here as a last attempt to reach as many people as possible with the truth. There were some lazy attempts to solve this situation, yes. The main software companies developed updates to their operating systems, but there were major mistakes in the code, so the updates were called back.
What major mistakes?
For instance, the code treated the year 2000 as a common year because 1900 and most centenary years are not leap years. However, if a centenary year divides evenly by 400, then it's a leap year, which is the case of the Y2K. There were other mistakes as well.
I've seen stickers that say Y2K compliant.
Ugh.
They claim to have updated their systems.
That's misleading public relations. In the end, the delivered upgrade is just a placebo. There are no substantial improvements. The actual working updates wouldn't be available and running until several months into the year 2000.
So there could be some chaos and confusion for a few months, and then everything will go back to normal?
We have become so dependent on computers and digital information that everything might collapse quickly. Also, all these effects can be exacerbated dramatically by cyber terrorists and anarchic hackers that will exploit security holes created by the bug. Rebuilding the technical backbone of civilization will take a lot more than a software update.
What do you recommend my audience to do? Panic and bunker up?
Panic is futile. I'd recommend people to get their cash out of the bank, best if it's in gold, bulk up on water, non-perishable food, medicine, candles, batteries, gas, don't forget some toilet paper, and of course, a shortwave radio.
It's sounding like the apocalypse.
It might as well be an electronic and digital apocalypse. We'll have to avoid any electronics that depend on date-based processes.
I know you're one of the smartest people in Canada, Professor, but I hope you got all this wrong.
Everybody hopes, but nobody does anything. We lead a reactive life, not a proactive one. I'd rather be prepared because there's a new world coming in Y2K.
What kind of world is coming?
I don't know for sure yet. Perhaps a world that may look very familiar, a direct continuation of the path that brought us here. But perhaps one that will seem alien and we won't understand. We are at a crucial moment for our destiny, facing these 2 alternative timelines. It's a fork on the road of civilization and history, and the path we choose is the world we'll live on. Until then, we'll live a dual reality, one in which we survive and one in which we don't. People might fool themselves into thinking we'll be in one, while in fact we'll end up in the other one.
And how long until such realization hits us?
It could be a few months, a couple of years, or even 20 years. But eventually we'll know, and it'll be too late. Our planet and our species are microscopic specks in the grand scheme of the cosmos. In the end, life will continue somewhere in the universe, regardless of what we do.
I'm not sure if that's the most optimistic thing you've said today or the most pessimistic.
They are entangled, so both.
At any rate, thank you so much for this very interesting conversation. Professor Kenneth Morris, in the name of CKES Toonie Radio, we wish you a very good new millennium, and may you and your data stay safe from the Y2K bug.
Thanks. Happy New Year to your audience around the world. Whatever happens, stay strong, stay informed, stay analog.